Hello, today is December 5th. It's now 7:15 p.m. and here we are once again without having anything to talk about. And surprisingly, today I think I got the intro right for the first fucking time. Let's go. And yes, I'm already cursing in the first minute of the video because I hate the algorithm. Okay, and I know the algorithm will never let me watch, let me thrive. The algorithm is forever going to fuck me up because I speak bad words in the first 10 minutes of this video, of this podcast. And yeah, once again, here we are, another week. I haven't given up yet. Why? I don't know. But I have come to the realization that I started this whole thing wrong. Okay, this shouldn't be a podcast being recorded inside of my car with the windows closed, with no AC. And I should be recording this podcast at night before falling asleep, And it shouldn't be audio only either, it should be with video. And the video should be me laying in my bed while talking shit, I mean, like I had this revelation, I don't know if it's a revelation or not, but I had this thought today when I was thinking, and I mean, that would be at least an original idea, right? Because I don't think anybody does a podcast laying in their bed in the dark talking shit. And why I came to what the fuck? Why did I came to that conclusion? Because every night when I lay in bed, I start thinking about a lot of shit that makes no sense, but in my mind at least, it's kind of funny, So I think that if I did a podcast like that, laying in bed, saying the thoughts that I have before falling asleep, I think that would be at least a little bit entertaining. Differently than this one, which is fucking trash, man, I I don't listen to podcasts on Spotify, but I happened to see the podcasts tab, the section on Spotify, and it got me, and it depressed me, man. Because there are so many podcasts out there, so many podcasts with the purpose of being entertaining, comedy, humorous podcasts that already have a huge following, man. There's no way, there's no shots that I would thrive in that, in that niche, which is not even a niche at this point because there's so many. And there's so many listeners, I think I should start putting this podcast on Spotify too, but I mean, it's not like I'm going to blow up there or anything like that, but I should at least, And oh yeah, I was talking about, like when I am laying down in bed, man, I just think my mind starts racing, man. Like I just can't chill. Like I want to fucking fall asleep, but my mind starts being like, man, what about this idea, that idea? And I just can't stop it, man. I just can't stop it. But now that I have a podcast, which begs the question, is it a podcast if nobody listens to? Like, do I have the right to say that I have a podcast if nobody listens to this? I don't know, maybe. But, at least now, now that I have a podcast, I use that as an excuse to be more liberal with those thoughts, because back when I didn't record this, if I start having those fucking obsessive thoughts before sleeping, I would shut them down and I would meditate until I fell asleep. But now I cope with myself thinking that, well, I'll keep thinking, overthinking, and having these obsessive thoughts because I could use this as an exercise to make a better podcast, okay? But that does not happen because whenever I come here to record this, it's always shit, it's always uninteresting, non-creative, it's always basic and plain, and it's just me saying nothing of substance, no jokes, like I'm terrible, I would fucking starve if I tried to be a comedian, okay? And it's just me saying curse words and shit like that, okay? By the way, I'm recording this and there's a fucking... There's a building being made by my side. When I got here, I tested the audio and it was fine. Like, it was not that noisy, but now it's... Like, after I started recording this, it became very lousy. But I'm not going to start this over, and I'm not going to get out of the place that I am right now, okay? I'm going to stay here, and I hope that the post-editing will help, okay? But, I mean, look, I'm not even fucking trying to do this thing anymore. I don't know, man. I think I'm using this just as a therapy, because nobody listens to this. And yet, every week, I feel excited to come here and do this. So I think at the end of the day, this is just a therapy to me, okay? But yeah. And one of the things I started thinking about last night when I was having those obsessive thoughts was about the thing that's happening in South Korea, okay? And I'm not going to talk about what I was thinking about what was happening in South Korea because I can't remember it anymore. I can't remember what I thought about it yesterday. But it was very interesting somewhat. I laughed with myself in bed alone in the dark having those thoughts. And somehow during that moment, that fucking hallucination that I had, I came to the conclusion that everybody has their own Kim Jong-un, the dictator from North Korea. I don't know, I can't remember how I got to that conclusion, but I remember that I did. That everybody has their own Kim Jong-un. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing this shit correctly. But, so this is not a podcast about South and North Korea. This is a podcast about thinking about those countries and arriving to a conclusion that I don't remember anymore how I got there. But I remember, man, that it was pretty funny in my mind, okay? I laughed a lot last night thinking about that, okay? And I also thought about, if one of the Koreas annexed the other, that would have a really big impact in the world, right? Because if North Korea were to go to war with South Korea and it annexed South Korea, then we would have 100% more nuclear threats, right? And also, I find it hard because, when I look at South Korea, man, it's like the complete opposite of the North one, right? And I'm not going to keep saying the full name, okay? I'm going to refer to them now as North and South only because North Korea, South Korea is way too long for me, okay? So now I'm going to be referring to them as North and South, okay? But when I think about North, I think of Soviet Union and those residency buildings that are all gray and they all look the same and they're all depressing, and I think about a place where it's always overcast, it's always raining. That's what I think about. When I look at South Korea, I think about League of Legends, about K-pop, hot Asian chicks. I think about high technology, big buildings with glass windows. I mean, I think all of the windows are made of glass, but I hope you understand what I try to say here. But I think about this very advanced country, Asian country full of technology everywhere, neon lights, and fucking you use your phone to fucking heal yourself or something like that. That's what I think about when I think about South. So, like, how would these people that live in South right now, like, how would they adapt to a life, like, to the standard, the life standard from North? Like, if they were to be annexed, like, it would be such a shock, right? Because they are living completely different lives, like, freedom and fucking technology, food probably too, because, like, there wouldn't be a McDonald's anymore on South if it were to be annexed by North, right? Like, there wouldn't be a McDonald's there. Like Samsung, like, the world would lose a lot of cheap cell phones made by Samsung, right? My cell phone is a Samsung, and it's a piece of shit. If it were to be annexed by North, man, it would be even fucking worse. Okay? And K-pop too, man, like, those girls wouldn't be wearing skimpy, hot clothes anymore, and they wouldn't be doing collabs with fucking Bruno Mars. They would be doing their shows wearing army uniforms, and arm-colored miniskirts, which now that I think about it, it's quite hot, to be honest with you, Like, I mean, it's quite hot. But that's what I think about, Like, it would change the world completely. And there's more. Like, then, like, once North and South are not North and South anymore, it's all just Korea. That guy, the fat guy, the Kim Jong-un guy, he would go fucking crazy with those nuclear threats, man. Like, if half of the country have that many nuclear bombs, imagine the whole country, man. There's just so many nuclear bombs that can fit in that land, The guy would go crazy, man. He would produce a lot of fucking nukes. And I do not know if South Korea currently has nukes. But if it has, then, like, that guy would get all of them, He would put all of them in his pockets, okay? But then I think about, what if South Korea annexes North Korea? Now that's where it gets interesting, right? Because, like, the championship for League of Legends, man, it wouldn't be a world championship anymore. It would be just the Korea championship. Because if those guys already dominate the competitive scene of League of Legends, imagine if the whole fucking country, like, how many fakers exist in North Korea right now who haven't ever seen a fucking computer in their lives, I always think about that, man. Like, how many Jimi Hendrixes are out there who have never handled a guitar before, Like, how many Einsteins are there who never learned physics, And, like, imagine, man, if the North Koreans could play League of Legends, man. It would be fucking crazy, man. Those guys would dominate, They would be pretty fucking good. If the South is good, imagine the North, man. And also another, like, again, K-pop. Imagine how many more K-pop there would be in the world. Imagine how many more collabs with Bruno Mars, Lady Gaga, all of those guys would there be. How many imagine how many much more of this would there be. Like, I don't know, man, but a part of me wants the South to annex the North and they all just become a single country. Okay, the South Korea will be the main one. Okay, it's going to be the one Korea. Okay, I mean that would be interesting to say the least. Another thing, man, there would be a lot more of Samsung cell phones out there, and maybe they would get better. You know, I would love that for them to get better, but I think that's never going to happen. Okay, I think the only possible way for me to get a cell phone, a good cell phone, if I buy a fucking iPhone, okay, or I spend way too much on a cell phone, which I think is dumb. But this piece of shit is really fucking bad. Okay, so that's what I was thinking last night. What would happen if they went to war, and how would the world change if one annexed the other? You know, and it all became a just Korea. You know. What else I was thinking about? You know, I don't think I'm going to get to the conclusion that I got to yesterday about everyone in having their own Kim Jong-un, which it really bothers me, man. It really bothers me because I fucking loved that idea last night. You know, I should have, since I was not sleeping anytime soon, I should have fucking, I don't know, man, took notes. I should have, I need to start taking notes of my thoughts, man. Okay. It's kind of, how can I say it? It's not narcissistic. It's kind of arrogant to think that you have things that you think that are worth taking notes of. I know that, but I mean, at least if I have an idea that I think is cool, at least I'll have it noted down, which is better than coming here without having anything to talk about, okay? Another thing, man, that I was thinking, I'm trying to remember now, because I was getting, it was all coming back. But another thing, man, that I was thinking about Korea, the Koreas, man, bro, what was it, man? It was in the fucking tip of my tongue. I was thinking about, I don't understand how dictators stay in power. Because at the end of the day, it's just one guy, I don't understand how, Kim Jong-un, Putin, Nicolas Maduro are still in power. I don't get it. Because at the end of the day, it's just one guy. If everybody came together and they decided that they had enough of their bullshit, they could just, you don't even have to kill the guy. Just fucking put him in a fucking cage and forget him. The world has many complex problems. But some of those problems are really easily solved, okay? And I mean, the guy has the army on his side. But think about it. It's not like they are going to overthrow him. It's not like they are making a coup and the country does not have an army anymore. Just make a agreement with the army that, look, we know that you supported this guy for a long time. Okay, we know it. But when we overthrow him, we are going to jail only him, okay? You guys are going to stay in your positions. You guys are going to keep being very well paid. You guys are going to have the same standard of living that you have now, full of full of benefits, and you guys get to keep your salary and your positions, okay? Just let us get this guy on jail so we can get on with our lives. Like, and I mean, why would they? Why would they refuse that? Because everybody that is there, like I'm going to take North Korea, I'm going to use North Korea as an example, okay? But I could use Venezuela too. Like, everybody there knows that that place sucks, right? Everybody that lives there knows that, they don't have it, they don't have the same freedom as the rest of the world, right? Like, everybody does that. From the common person to the general of the army to Kim Jong-un, everybody there knows that that shit sucks. Every citizen. Like, I refuse to believe that there are people there that actually buy the bullshit that Kim Jong-un is a fucking divinity and his family is fucking special in any way. People, they are just afraid of being fucking shot by the army. So like, everybody knows that. Everybody knows that everything there sucks. So like, just come, like, it's so fucking easy, man. It's just so fucking easy. I don't get it. Why it's like, how those guys are still in power, Like, and I mean, like, okay, then you say to me, well, that's not how things work, because even if they overthrow him, it has to go through a process, and to that, you have legal implications and all of that bullshit. You have the Constitution, and to that I say, look, man, this is pretty easily solved too. All we have to do is create an international, a global, a universal law that states if a person that is in power is a fucking asshole, we can just jail him. You don't even have to kill the guy, okay? Just put him in a jail and forget that he exists, okay? You feed him and you let him live. But like, look, man, if you are in a position of power and you clearly don't know how to use that, you clearly do not have any responsibility in that position, and you are a fucking asshole to everybody, like, we're going to put you in jail, no questions asked, no refunds, nothing. You are going straight to jail, and you are going to stay there, man. Okay? There should be a law that explicitly states that. Like, it just solves all of the problems, Put the guy in jail, let's, all become one, South and North become just fucking Korea. For fuck's sake, please. And like, it's just so fucking easy, man. Like, I don't know if a lot, but many problems of this world would be very, very easily solvable, They would be, man. They would be. Either that, or it just takes a guy with a gun close to him to fucking kill him. Like, I do not get it, man. Like, I mean, I know that it's pretty fucking easy for me to say this from the comfort of a democratic, which democracy is also a piece of shit anyway. But I know it's easy for me to say that in a, quote, free country, without, I personally do not have to take that decision, I do not, like, I'm not in that position of pressure, of having to fucking kill someone to have my freedom, right? But like, at the same time, man, like, those soldiers, like, you are like, he's in front of you. You have a fucking gun. Like, all it takes is, I do not want people to get killed. I'm not in favor of murder. But in that position, man, where you see that your country is in the shit and that maniac fucking threatens everybody with nukes, like, at that point, man, like, look, man, you are fucking crazy. Okay, maybe the world would be a better place without you here. Okay, I'm just saying I'm not in favor of murder. I much rather my idea of just fucking putting the guy in jail for getting the shit that his fucking comrades made. Let them have their jobs. We forget about what happened and we all move on with our lives, okay? We all have Samsung fucking phones, we all play League of Legends, we all sing K-pop, okay? Just do that, man. Like, it's simple, okay? This podcast should be sent to fucking the United Nations, okay? Even though I do not like the United Nations, even though I fucking hate those guys, this should be sent to them, okay? And this podcast should be broadcasted globally for everybody to listen to my ideas, because I'm going to fucking save the world, or I'm going to die trying. Another thing, I was thinking about murder, and I'm going to contradict myself. Well, no, I'm not going to contradict myself exactly. But, this morning, I was at work and I had nothing to do, so I did what I always did, and I went into Reddit. And when I go into Reddit, I see the news that big CEO from a healthcare company, that guy had been shot. I saw that, okay? And I'm not a communist, okay? But I know that healthcare in the United States is fucked. Are fucked. I don't know how to say that. But I know things are fucked over there, okay? So when I saw that news, I felt, even though I do not even live there, but I have friends who live there. So, I felt kind of vindicated, I felt a little, no, I felt like, I was like, okay, I mean, that shit was going to happen sooner or later, right? Like, I mean, healthcare, exactly, right? But then, I started reading the comments, and it's just fucking unhinged, man. It's fucking crazy. Like, people are fucking sick, okay? And they're like, people were basically celebrating the death of the guy, spouting their opinions as if they fucking mattered. And the thing is, it's not like, I understand why like, I understand, like, the guy died. I mean, it makes complete sense to me. Like, the guy, I don't know him. I'm not going to judge him. I'm not going to say he was a piece of shit, but in the eyes of many, he probably was. Right? But then I started seeing comments talking about that thing, like, wow, this place is fucking unhinged. People are celebrating the deaths of others. And, those comments were getting downvoted, and people were saying, like, this person probably has killed a lot of people because they probably had bad practices. They rather have better financials than fucking saving lives and all of that. And yes, I agree with that too, okay? Like, I'm not going to judge the guy. The point that I'm trying to get at, Jesus Christ, this fucking thing is fucking chaotic as fuck, sorry. But the thing that I think of, it's not necessarily bad that you feel a little bit of pleasure in seeing the news of the murder of someone. Okay, it's not like, it's, like, when, like, the people that are defending, like, the people that are against, what I'm trying to get at, like, the people that defend the billionaire, in this case, maybe some of them celebrate when a poor guy tries to steal something, which is wrong too. I'm not going to defend anybody here, okay? I'm not trying to defend anybody. I'm just trying to present my case. They probably celebrate, he probably celebrates when a poor black guy dies, for example, who was trying to steal something, or just a poor guy. I don't know. Sorry, I don't fucking cancel me. I'm not going to get cancelled anyway. Nobody fucking listens to this. But like, the guy that defends billionaires probably would celebrate the death of a guy who is poor and was trying to steal something, right? Maybe, I don't know. But what I'm trying to get at, I don't know if it's normal, but I think that it's not, you are not a psychopath. You are not completely fucking out of your mind if you feel a little bit vindicated about the news of someone else's death. You are not a bad person if you feel a little bit of pleasure seeing the news of someone's death that you consider a fucking asshole. Okay, that's what I'm trying to get at. However, if you go on the fucking internet and you start commenting and celebrating and putting that pleasure out there, that just shows you that you are fucking hypocrites, Like, if you see a reasonable person who does not like billionaires, who is against the current United States healthcare, who disagrees with the state of things, or someone who had a bad experience having to use the healthcare system, if a person like that wake up and see the news and see the CEO of a big healthcare company died, I can respect if he does a hooray, if he's like yes to himself. Like I accept that and I respect that. Okay? But if the person then goes to the fucking internet and start fucking celebrating with others, that shit's just fucking weird, man. Like, that shit's just fucking weird, okay? Like, it's some sort of fucking parasocial group mob mentality to me, Like, this idea made more sense in my head, but like, if you are celebrating it publicly, if you're not doing a little yes inside of your mind, but you are actually fucking typing that shit out for others to read and to just fucking put more fucking gasoline in the fire, like that. The thing that gets me is if you are doing that, if you are celebrating it publicly and like fucking posting it on Twitter and like fucking upvoting and downvoting on fucking Reddit, like, chances are, if you are that fucking desperate and unhinged for attention, it makes me think that if you were in the position of that billionaire, if you had to make the decisions that he made to make more money, you probably would make the same decisions and the same choices, Does it make sense to you? Like, I went on and I fucking made a lot of fucking circles here. I could have made this whole fucking segment much fucking shorter. But I'm fucking stupid as shit. But you get what I mean, right? People that are celebrating it publicly, that have to voice their fucking opinion on this matter, which their fucking opinion does not matter, man. People have to get this. Your opinion does not fucking matter. Does not mean that you do not have to voice them, but sometimes you don't. Sometimes you should just fucking shut the fuck up. Okay, nobody fucking cares about your opinion. And nobody cares when your opinion is the same one that's been fucking spouted fucking 100 times in the fucking same post, man. Like, everybody fucking wrote the same thing that you wrote already 1,000 times. Oh my god. So, like, if you are that person who thinks that their opinion should be voiced, like, I think that if you had the chance to be a billionaire who fucking cares more about money than the lives of others, I think you would be that person, man. How I got to that conclusion, I do not know, okay? But again, when I thought that this morning, it made sense in my mind. But once again, when I'm recording this, nothing makes sense anymore. Nothing makes sense anymore, okay? So yeah, man, it's just fucking... It creeps me out when people start celebrating the death of other people in a fucking group, you know? Like, that should be something that you keep to yourself, you know? But that's the problem with the internet. Because people nowadays, since they have the chance to make part of a group, like, okay, Jesus Christ, man, like a fucking 5 different ways to fucking word this idea came to my mind at the same time, so I'm trying to figure out which one's the best right now. The thing is, the internet allows for groups to be built. Ah, shit. I'm going to get there, okay? I'm going to get there. The thing is, even groups of freaks can be allowed in the internet, you know? I completely forgot what I was trying to say. What the fuck? Wow, man, I hope I do not have a fucking brain cancer, man. But holy fucking shit, I just completely lost what I was trying to say. I don't know, man. What the fuck is this shit? I was like group mentality. I don't know, man. What I was trying to say. I was going to say something about foot fetish, but I don't remember anymore. Okay, I think I remember now. Okay, I'll try to make it this simpler, because in my failed attempts to fucking express myself, I make things way too complex, and I make them so complex that I don't remember myself what I was trying to get at. I am fucking... like, my nose is kind of itchy, and I'm scratching it like Žižek does, you know, the guy, the Žižek guy that says kind of, you know, he speaks in a way kind of hard to understand. So basically me, I'm literally him. I'm literally, like right now, I'm literally Žižek, because I like, nobody understands what I'm saying, and I can't stop itching, you know, scratching my nose the same way he does. I'm picking my nose all of the fucking time, exactly like this. So I'm basically Žižek. All I need now is a following of his size, and to become a fucking philosopher of the 21st century. Okay, so, but anyways, coming back, because I don't want to forget this anymore. The problem is, actually I do not know if it's a problem or not, but the internet allowed people to voice opinions and things about their lives that they wouldn't do otherwise. Okay, and that's I don't know what fucking word to use. That's why foot fetish came into my mind, because in real life you wouldn't fucking tell people that you have foot fetish, right? But in the internet, you not only tell people that you have foot fetish, but you are praised for it. You become like a fucking leader of the foot fetish gang. You become a fucking moderator on the subreddit for a foot fetish. Okay? And okay, I forgot again, but I'm going to get back. So okay, I got back again. The idea. I got it back. So, like, people in real life, they wouldn't openly celebrate the death of other people. I mean, maybe in your circle of friends, you know, maybe like to your wife, your wife knows that you have a foot fetish because you are always fucking trying to lick her feet and her fucking toenails, right? And like, amidst your group of friends, everybody knows that you are the fucking communist that hates billionaires and that they should die because that's all you talk about, right? But like, if you start talking about that shit with your coworkers, for example, and with different people with different opinions, people are just going to say that you are fucking annoying as shit, that you are a fucking freak, and that you shouldn't talk, right? So you would feel shame, and you wouldn't say shit like that. However, on the internet, you say that you are a fucking food fetishist, and people fucking love you. Okay? You say that you have a fucking weird ass kink, and people praise you. In the internet, you say that billionaires, that people that have feelings and families should die, and a fucking 100,000 of people will fucking applaud you. Okay? And that's a problem. Because we only got here where we are today because people felt shamed, they felt left off, and I don't know anymore. I don't know. I feel like my argument is pretty weak and it wouldn't hold in court. But I'm going to say it anyway. Like, people felt shame, and they thought that they had to do things right and good things to be part of the group. And in that process of wanting to be part of the group, humanity achieved many things. Okay? That's my logic here, which I do not know if it's right, but I threw the dart and that's where it landed. Okay? So like, because people don't feel ashamed anymore, because people voice their opinions and people voice their fetishes nowadays, and people are accepting instead of being instead of shaming those people, we are going to stagnate and we are going to stop advancing. Okay? Why? Because people are going to be okay with who they are. But the problem is, being okay with who you are is bad. Because if you are okay with who you are going to fucking do the same things every day. You are not going to change. You are going to be sucking the toes of your fucking wife instead of inventing the fucking cure for cancer. You know, does it make any sense what I'm trying to say here? Like, in my mind it does, kind of, you know? In my mind it kind of does. Because, like, if you are accepted no matter what you do, then why would you do something challenging? You know? I mean, to me, this like, I mean, I know it is a stretch, but I mean, it gotta make sense, right? I don't know, man. I don't know anymore. But yeah, man, I thought about other things too before falling asleep yesterday, but I think that's as much as I can remember, man. That's how much I can remember. You know. I don't know. I think I'm going to abandon this channel. I'm going to fucking create another one. I'm going to make a podcast named Before Sleep. And I'm going to just fucking record myself laying down in bed in the dark, talking nonsense non-stop. And I'm going to fucking... I think that's a pretty good idea, actually. I think that could work, you know? Like, it would be a new key, you know? I don't know, man. But I also do not have a camera, and I do not want to buy one. And I'm kind of ashamed to show myself, especially lying in bed, you know? I do not use pajamas to die. No, nobody uses pajamas to die. I guess they would pajama, no? But I do not use pajamas to sleep. And to be honest, man, I never understood why people do. Like, why do you go through the hassle of changing your clothes to sleep? Like, it does not make any sense to me. But then I thought, well, people probably change their clothes so that they do not. Which okay, this okay. So here's okay. I just proved myself wrong, but let me put you my thoughts in a timeline that may make sense. Okay, so I was thinking, okay, actually it makes sense for people to wear pajamas because they do not want to go to bed with their sweaty clothes, the clothes that they use daily, and they do not want to wake up sometimes maybe sweaty on their because if you wake up in your pajamas and you are sweaty, then you put on your daily clothes and then you are fresh. But then, I mean, it comes down. I mean, it basically, I'm doing the right thing because if during the day I get sweaty and my clothes get sweaty, right? Like, what's going to change me putting on pajamas? Because I'm going to sweat at night too, so my clothes are always stinky. Like, I am always stinky because I sweat during the day and I sweat during the night. So why would it make any difference, Like, I mean, you are going to, like, your clothes are going to be sweaty. Your daily clothes are sweaty. Your pajama is sweaty. So just use the fucking daily clothes in bed. Okay? So I went from wondering why people use pajamas to then seeing why people use pajamas to going back to not understanding why people use pajamas. But I really don't mean, like, the concept, like, to me, changing clothes is kind of a hassle, Every time I have to change clothes to go out, I'm like, oh my, I do not like that. Because I have to take out my clothes. I have to search clothes that are going to match. I have to put them on. And then later, when I get back home, I'm going to have to take them out and put on my clothes back up, right? And that's kind of a hassle to me. So, like, doing that before sleeping is way too much. So yeah, I don't understand why pajamas are even a thing, man. When I see somebody like mentioning pajamas, like people, I don't know, you just overhear someone saying how they want to buy new pajamas, and I'm like, what? That reminds me, like, whenever I hear that word, it reminds me of their existence and the fact that there are people out there that fucking change clothes before falling asleep. And that's just fucking so weird to me, Another thing that bothers me about pajamas is that there's a song called Pajama People by Frank Zappa. And he basically describes a pajama people, which would be someone who is like boring, who is uninteresting. And I love that song. However, that song bothers me because I wonder if I am the pajama person, Like, every time I listen to that song, I start getting self-conscious and I start thinking about, holy shit, man, am I a pajama people? A person? Like, I mean, I do not wear pajamas. But I might be, because I'm quite boring, right? I mean, nobody listens to this, so I think my case is made already. So I'm like, damn, man, am I like, if someday I were to meet Frank Zappa and I got to have a talk with him, he would probably think that I am a pajama person, And that bothers me. That makes me sad. That makes me depressed, But yeah, man. That's all I've got for today. Okay. I don't know. I think I'm going to put this podcast on Spotify or not, I don't know. Nobody fucking listens to this, man. Not even the one subscriber that I've got listens to this shit. And I think my titles are good, I think I mean, probably, yeah, of course I have a bias. But I think my titles are, to me, they would be things that get my attention, But I think they don't do for the normal person, I like to cope with the fact that nobody listens to this podcast by thinking that this is a podcast for the superior and feel of the world. That's how I cope with the fact that nobody listens to this. I think that this podcast is great, and people just don't understand it. Okay, but I mean, nobody. Fuck this shit. I'm just trying to fill the time now because it has been only 51 minutes, and I want it to last 1 hour. I want it to last 1 hour, maybe more. That's what pissed me off, man. If I was trying to fucking sleep now, I would be thinking about shit for 2 fucking hours. I would have content for a fucking 1,000 podcasts. But when I get here to record this, like nothing comes. Nothing comes. Okay? Yeah. Anyways. Oh. Actually, something that happened just before I came here. I don't know if I talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it. So, there's 3 things that I search, that I actively look for in my day. Okay. That didn't make any sense, sorry. I'm starting to get, it's starting to get at the point of the podcast where I start having a fucking heat stroke because I'm dying inside of this car. But there's 3 things that I keep searching the whole fucking day. Currently, in my daily life. Which is GameStop ticker to see if the stock have went up and moved. World News subreddit to see if Russia has fucking launched a nuclear missile and we are about to enter a fucking apocalypse. And the UFOs subreddit to see if aliens have finally been revealed and see if there's any footage of alien life out there. Okay, so these are the 3 things that I every hour I go into those subreddits. I search for those things to see if something has happened in the world, okay? Because that's the only thing I care about, okay? My life plans rely on one of those things happening, okay? I will either get rich if GameStop fucking goes $1 million a single share. I'll either die in the nuclear fallout if Russia launches a nuclear missile, or I'm going to, I don't know what's going to happen if UFOs, aliens, are fucking revealed, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's the outcome. But yeah, that's my life plans, man. One of those things I'm expecting to happen in the following months, or years. So that's the things that I actively search for. But why I started saying that? Because I noticed, I didn't notice, I searched for it. But before coming here, I saw that the Horror Kitty guy, the guy that, the guy from the GameStop stock, he made a tweet, and that tweet made the fucking the stock price go like fucking 10% up because of the tweets of a single guy, man. And that just shows how fucked up things are. I don't know what point I was trying to make when I started talking about this. I think I was just trying to fill the time to reach 1 hour, which I didn't even fucking reach 1 hour. But yeah, man, GameStop is like $29, I think. I don't know if it went more or if it went down since I came here. But I don't know, man. Like, I have fucking 4 shares of GameStop, and I would love for it to be real that they are going to get they are going to be worth millions someday, okay? But I find it very hard to believe, and I started noticing recently that the people that follow that ticker, they are kind of cultish, you know. It's kind of sad for me to fucking, I mean, not really. I mean, the guys are cool, you know. They do a lot of research, you know. I don't know, man. I mean, if I search for that shit every fucking day, every fucking hour to see if there's an update on the thing, it's because I kind of believe in that, okay? Yes, I'm trying to get rich quick. Sorry, but who isn't, right? I mean, who is not? But yeah, that's what I had to talk about. I mean, that's how this fucking podcast ends. Like always, I start by having nothing to talk about, and I end by talking about nothing of importance, okay? But anyways, I'm going to stop because I'm already fucking having a heat stroke inside of this car. My brain is already way too small, and I do not have to damage it more than I should, okay? Anyways, I just remembered about the Spotify recap too, but I'm not going to talk about that. But I like it. Okay, I like the Spotify rap, the recap or whatever. Anyways, I'm going to go now. I'm fucking drunk on carbon dioxide or some shit like that right now. I'm fucking dying here. I hope to see you guys next week. Okay, I hope next week I have something of interest to talk about, of something fucking interesting. Fuck whatever. So, have a good day, have a good night, whatever. Bye. Ciao.